Hey, you, come here real quick. What do you think is the strongest tower in TDS? Is it the engineer? It has 400 DPS. Or maybe it's the accelerator. I mean, you can buff it with commander and get even more DPS than the engineer. Right? You know, get like 400 something. Well, as I go and teleport into this game, let me just tell you, there's a way to get over 800 DPS now. From just one tower. That is nearly the strength of 2 engineers, the strength of over 3 accelerators, and it all comes from turret. I'm not kidding when I say this. Turret is now the single strongest tower in the game. And now notice I'm using this amazing crossbow skin, but unfortunately it's glitched. I'm gonna go switch it for the normal skin. Alright, Molten mode, just so we can really show this thing's destructive power, because Intermediate has tanks, Fallen has flying stuff, so we can't really do that. But I said it and I'll say it again. I'm not kidding when I say it. Turret can do 800 DPS. Now, this is of course if you give it max buff, so a mercenary based damage buff, a DJ booth, and a commander. But of course TDS could just make something so OP that it becomes the best thing in the game. Its placement limit is now only 3, which take it as you will. I don't care though. This thing, like in solo, probably don't use it. But in a quad, imagine 12 turrets that can do up to 800 DPS being placed down. More realistically, you're going to be getting like 700 DPS out of them because a lot of people won't be using a mercenary base for it. But a commander, sure, that's going to be viable. Turret's also the most expensive tower in the game now, I believe. It's over $100,000 to max with no discounts. So I got to kind of rely on these cowboys to make me a lot of money here. The early game's going to look pretty much the same. I mean, I'm just going to be spamming cowboys for a while. I need to make money for like a majority of the game, and then by the end I'm gonna get turrets, sell the cowboys, and we're just gonna have 3 turrets do all of the work, like take down the entirety of Molten mode like it's nothing. By the way, fun fact, turret is my favorite tower. I've said this before, but I just love it. Just the idea of this machine. Look at the size of its gun. Just look at it. The gun itself is bigger than most towers. So I don't know, just the aura that turret emits, it's just like the thing that ends all enemies. Even though it's sucked for the longest time, but now that's no longer the case. Like, you could pretty viably use this in like polluted wastelands, badlands, special modes, and all that. Probably even hardcore. Only in a quad though, because a placement limit of 3. That's not gonna cut it for most cases. Okay, let's get this. You guys also want to know another fun fact? I've already recorded this video once, but I forgot to turn on my mic. So I remember entering the video editor. I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do everything again. And by the way, these new breakers with their animations, let me know what you think of them. Maybe you prefer the old simple ones. Maybe you like these new animated ones. They're like straight out of a cartoon. But alright, that's enough talking. Let's go into, I don't know, speed mode here. As I'm farming for this turret. Max DJ, cowboy, cowboy, cowboy. You guessed it, another cowboy. Final cowboy, commander, commander, commander. We can now chain max commander right here. Another hidden detection one because we've got a hidden boss leaking. A double tap for some more money. And another double tap. A couple more double taps. And now the last 2 commanders maxed out. And okay. It's time. I feel like these breakers getting a little bit far. Not very fun. Let's get this turret. So, level 1 here, I mean, right now it has 40 DPS, but normally it would have around 30. Actually, a little bit more for 30, which at base level is absolutely insane. Big range, just an overall nice tower. First upgrade gives it a huge range increase as well as hidden detection. Just look at it. I mean, this thing's range is like nearly, I don't even know what to compare it to. Stronger ammunition gives it lead detection. I mean, I guess that's kind of useful in like hardcore, but mainly 50% damage increase with this damage going from 10 to 15. So let's get this upgrade. And already this thing's DPS is, I mean, 75. A tower having 75 DPS at level 2. Name me another one. Just name me another one. The only other potential option is accelerator. That's it. This thing is just a monster. And this next upgrade, dual turret, doubles its damage, gives it more range. I meant doubles its DPS because the fire rate gets halved. So let's go ahead and do that then. And I mean, this thing's already just full rapid fire mode. This is 150 DPS at level 3, 150. You know, that's more DPS. I mean, of course, it's because there's also a commander ability. But let me just tell you, when turret was added, max level was 100. Max. This thing at level 3 is doing more right now. So turret has, you know, gotten Quite the buff recently. Now this next level, even heavier ammo, more than doubles it, while also giving it even more range, because this much range is not enough, you know? So yeah, let's do that. Okay, 320 DPS with a commander ability right now. So, like, we're already stronger than a max accelerator, if the max accelerator doesn't have a commander buff, that is. And this thing still has another level, which increases damage to 55 and makes it fire even faster. While also giving it more range, by the way, because, you know, like, the entire map isn't enough. And for $45,000, the most expensive upgrade in the game. There we go. Max level turret. I think this thing is a little strong. This right now, as is 675 DPS. If that's not enough, let's just get down a mercenary base. Let's max this thing out and field medics, because of course we don't want to be helping this thing out. 66 damage every 0.08 seconds. This is officially over 800 DPS. In fact, I don't need this anymore. I don't need any of these cowboys. This single turret is just going to be enough for me to defeat the entire rest of Molten. Here we go. There's its damage. You know, pretty strong, right? The breakers, yeah, they get decimated. I mean, 66 damage a shot. Hidden boss, I didn't even see it. That's because it dies in half a second. And, look at this, bro. Look at this. This is what 800 DPS is. Molten's all the way to the... Dude, I don't know, man. I love turret. They made my favorite tower the strongest tower in TDS. Molten Titan, let's buff up the commander and, yeah. Wow. One single turret is doing all of this. You imagine 12 of these? 12 of these in a quad? Here comes the Molten boss. Now, because turret's range is so big, the Molten boss isn't even going to be able to stun it. Maybe with fireballs, so I'm just going to get some bait cowboys, because I don't want, you know, the freaking Molten boss to throw a fireball at my one and only defense here that I have. But yeah, I did 10k damage in this little distance. Dude, I can keep talking about this all day, how strong this thing is. Hey, this is me saying this after the video, but these field medics you see walking down the tracks, I never addressed those, but every single second the turret does more damage than the amount of HP they have. Just felt like adding that in. What I want you to keep in mind is the turret's only used like this part of the track so far to do 50k damage. It's still got all of this that it can work with. And before, when I had to use one accelerator to try and kill the Molten boss, I had to do everything on power. I had to use all the stuns, all the buffs. This one turret, I mean, there's not really showing much difficulty. It's only used half of its range to kill the Molten boss. And that was just one turret. I could have placed 2 more. I hope to see this bad boy used in some more games. And now that you know, you better like, subscribe, use Starcody, and I'll see ya.